Welcome to the Tony Gomez Show. Happy Saturday, everybody, and happy Halloween. I want to welcome y'all to today's show. It is going to be the top 10 best horror movies ever made. And with me today in the studio, I have top right, Dave Brinkman of Angkor. Bottom right, Daniel Benavides of Parasitic, Septicity. And right there to the bottom left, we have Lord Scuba Steve Vasquez from the Gore and More podcast. Guys, thank you for joining me today on the show.
Oh yeah, glad to be here, man.
Man, I am looking forward to today's show. Doing the research for this was a lot of fun. Not only watching some of these older movies, but going down the rabbit hole, man. Seeing some of these directors and all the other movies that I didn't know that they actually made, and just kind of going down my childhood fears again. And realizing some of those old psyches that some of these movies, kind of disturbed me watching either in the past or not too long ago as well. So, I just want to thank you guys for joining me today. I'm a big fan of Halloween, and obviously I know you guys that are super big horror fanatics. You love horror. It's Halloween year round for you guys, and every movie that comes out, y'all want to keep up with the latest fucking horror thriller, shocking, disturbing kind of movie that is out, because that's what we dig. That's what we like. And I think, like my wife was telling me as I was sharing some of my list, she's like, I don't know, honey, compared to some of the guys you might have on the show, yours might seem a little bubblegum. And I said, well, shit, I just, I'm an older guy. So, I've got so many movies that I was able to watch back in the 70s and 80s that, some of my friends in the 30s might have never seen yet. But anyway, I feel that it's all relative, but we all have our own generations and we've all come up our own different ways. And whether it's fathers or uncles or one way or another, we kind of stumbled upon horror movies, and it stuck to us, man. It's something we dug, and for better or for worse, here we are in our latter years, fucking loving the hell out of it more than ever, and diving totally deep into it, and just enjoying this time of year.
Definitely, man.
And I'm excited to check out y'all's list, and maybe there's some I haven't seen that I can add to my list. So
that's what I'm interested to.
Mine's probably going to be quite a bit different, because a lot of the films I've actually started to seek out are the more disturbing films.
Yeah. See, and mine, I feel like mine are going to be controversial because I have a lot of sequels in my list.
Awesome.
Very interesting,
and then
guys.
I have one very, very controversial one on my list, and when we get to it, you'll see which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, mine's more like the movies that shaped me, you know what I mean? Like as a kid to who I am now, and then everything in between. So it's going to be great.
Definitely.
It's going to be good. All right. Well, I want to start off with some cool little Halloween horror movie fun facts. So, there's been some big franchises over the years, of course, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Saw. There have been some big ones that have been out there. And I want to share the first fact I got for today is the highest grossing horror movie franchise. And this one, you guys want to take any guesses?
Ooh.
Franchise, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of think of Halloween, just because there's been so many, and kind of like,
in that same aspect of there being so many films.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Saw because Saw has so many sequels. So maybe Saw.
I think Saw actually has 10. What do you think, Dave?
I'd probably go with Saw or some of the recently real popular found footage ones like VHS series.
Oh, yeah, VHS. That's some good shit right there. Well, actually, what I came across with in regards to the highest grossing movie franchise in horror movies is the Aliens movie franchise.
Ooh.
Which started back, when it comes to Aliens, they got 7 films in their catalog, and the last one being Alien Romulus. And that one, I don't have the exact number, but that one right there has just, put out some tremendous fucking horror movie money together. And I seen Romulus, and I thought it was a pretty kick-ass movie. I like the way they've connected the movies, throughout this series, with Prometheus and Aliens 2 being one of my favorites, because they just had so many fucking aliens and the Marines battling each other. So I thought that was cool. But you guys picked some great ones, man, because those are huge franchises you guys were bringing up. And, Saw being one of my favorites out of the ones that y'all mentioned. Halloween especially, but Saw, man. Saw's done some crazy shit. They've done some fantastic fucking, diabolical ways of fucking chopping people up and just,
For sure.
torturing.
Saw was kind of like a good pave way of the torture kind of genre, and kind of bringing that into the mainstream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Hell yeah.
I think they're making a new one. I think I saw that.
Yeah, there's a new one. There's a new one coming out, which I'm interested in. I guess it's a prequel that they're doing or something, because apparently Jigsaw's back. So we'll see how that works.
He's always
all right.
I mean, in horror movies, man, they're never really dead. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what they throw at us, or what kind of curveball they give us, because I feel like those movies are known for those shock endings that you did not see coming. Because I remember watching the first movie.
Yeah.
I'm usually good at guessing the end of movies way before, the second act. I'm like, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is who the killer is, whatever. I did not see that shit coming. And that I have to say, that was probably one of the biggest mind fucks in any, horror movie that I've seen. I was like, whoa, like my mind was blown.
Yeah. You already know, dude, when that music hits, dude, the Saw, the dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
dun, dun. You already know, dude. It's gonna be like a big reveal. Even the last reveal, dude. I kind of saw it coming, but hey, man, it was good.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Okay. How about another fun fact? So the first true horror movie to get credit was a movie that came out back in 1920, and that movie's called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I haven't had a chance to see it myself. Steve, have you caught that?
I've seen it. We were actually watching a bunch of old school 1920s movies last night. My fiance, my fiance, my wife, we're already married. I keep saying fiance, but my wife she's not really big in the horror genre. So I like to take her down deep dives for flicks and stuff. And so we were watching some of the older stuff last night, and HBO Max has a bunch of the old school silent films. And that's one of the ones that's on there.
Very cool.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's pretty amazing for that time.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
What's
I
the
need to
name
do
of the
that
film
history.
again?
Do what?
That is fucking awesome, man. So, so that being the first true horror movie, I also want to go down another list.
What was the name of that movie, Tony?
Say again?
What was the name of that movie?
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen
It's if you've seen any of Rob Zombie's videos, it's heavily inspired by that film.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah.
1920, huh?
And another one to check out is one called Hexen.
Oh, Hexen. That's the one we watched last night. We watched that one last night.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did.
We
just watched it last night.
That film is still banned in the majority of the world.
Yeah, it basically gives you like a history of witchcraft in the early 20th century and 19th century. Like it's a really cool flick. It's a silent film, came out in 1922, but it's a good film.
Wow, dude, Hexen, that sounds kick-ass. I need to look into both of those. Excellent. Hell yeah. Well, let's go into another list I got before we hit ours, and this is going to be a list of the top 10 horror movie killers, and we're going to rank them by the number of kills. So this is coming together by comicbookresources.com. So there may be some other lists that may be out there. This isn't the list of all lists, but this is one we're going to go by tonight. I want to share with you guys. So number 10, let's hit this list with Leatherface. We got Leatherface coming in with 31 kills. All right. And, he does most of his killing by ways of chainsaw, mullets, meat hooks, etc., etc. And then coming in 9th, Freddy fucking Krueger. Freddy Krueger coming in with 42 kills. And I think Freddy goes more for quality over quantity. And he likes those spectacular kills, man. Those kind of unforgettable kills like that Johnny Depp, when I think of it, Johnny Depp's kill of the first movie where his guests just go plastering from the bottom of the bed all the way to the ceiling. There's blood covered everywhere.
Iconic scene right there. Super iconic scene.
Right. That was some shit right there. Moving on to number 8, Chucky. Chucky comes in with 51 kills. And of course, that's Charles Lee Ray portrayed as a little demonic dog, Chucky. And that's going on to sprawl all kinds of different movies, as well as a great TV show. So props to the little man himself. Number 7, Angela Baker. Angela Baker with 55 kills from the Sleepaway Camp franchise.
Yeah. She's
killing them, man. So next, we got Victor Crowley from the Hatchet series right there. 56 big kills right there. Kind of based off of Jason Voorhees somewhat. And, he likes to do his kills by way of blunt weapons and just kill him with his bare fucking hands.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to... that's like going some of my favorite kills in the Hatchet series, man.
Yeah, they got some really good ones, and I love the fact that you get a lot of cameos from other actors in there. I don't remember which Hatchet it is, but there's one of the guys that played Leatherface, I think in part 3. I think it was from Texas Chainsaw 3. He goes up against a Hatchet who was played by Kane Hodder. So it was that Jason versus Leatherface,
badass
scene. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, dude. I love that they got Kane Hodder for the Victor Crowley too. You know?
Moving in at number 5, you wouldn't guess it, but our little green man, the Leprechaun, hell yeah, bringing the Irish kills and 57 kills. He's coming in, and he's been killing for whether it's the hood or fucking space.
Yeah,
he's always killing for gold.
Yep.
So moving on from the little Leprechaun, coming in at number 4. Let me see if I pronounce these right, man. We're talking about Kayako and Toshio Saki with 89 kills, and I'm talking about the Ju-on films, including the Grudge trilogy.
Yeah.
Those guys right there. The deal with them is you just enter the Sakai house, and that's it. You will die.
Done. The curse, it gets you, man.
That's the shit right there. You will die. Curses. I love curses, man, but I believe in that kind of crazy shit. Yeah. And so I don't want to fuck with them. Don't want to fuck with that shit. Coming in at number 3, you guessed it, Michael Myers with 124. Let me update that. Let me see. Boom, boom, boom. In 40 years careers, it is. It went from a 120 to 124 kills, and we're talking about the one and only, The Shape. You got him right there, bottom right corner. He's in the house, the boogeyman. Evil itself, Michael Myers. Fuck yeah, one of my favorites. Coming in at number 2, Jason Voorhees.
The GOAT.
Yeah. With 160 plus kills.
That's my favorite slasher.
Yeah, mine too, man. Mine too.
His weapons of choice are, he's not picky though. It could be machetes, it could be spears, it could be arrows, axes, fucking weed killers, or just his bare fucking hands.
Yep, he's just fucking brutal, man. And out of the slashers, I mean, he's the king of the slashers, man. There was an argument going on TikTok of that Rob Zombie's version of Myers could take down any version of Jason. And I'm like, you're dumb. There is no way. I don't care what version of Myers it is. I love Michael Myers. I love the Halloween series. But even part 6 Jason could take down Michael Myers in any form. Doesn't matter. He's unstoppable.
I would love to see that movie.
I just wouldn't want it to be cheesy like Freddy versus Jason was. I would want like a serious like matchup without any other kind of interaction. I don't need the cheesy teenagers in it for 90% of the movie. Give me the fight. Let's see who wins. There's a really cool fan film.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna bring
that
puts them
up together. That is really really dope.
Mm-hmm.
I need to look that up. That kicks ass? I bet.
Yeah, it's good.
Shit, I love it. Well, from Crystal Lake to Manhattan to Elm Street, Jason Voorhees just fucking kills and slaughters anything that gets in his way. It's very cool. I kind of like it, and it was one of the coolest 3D movies I saw back in the day growing up. Was Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D.
Yep.
That was fucking cool. Love that shit.
Even though the 3D, that whole backstory behind them trying to make the film in 3D, it was a clusterfuck. A lot of the effects didn't work the way they were supposed to work, and they've tried to rework it now to where it looks a little bit better on when you buy the film and watch it at home, but there was a lot of problems behind the scene with that 3D stuff.
Wow, dude, I bet, because that was I want to say maybe mid 80s, right? Something like that.
Early 80s. I want to say that one
83, 84, maybe 82.
Yeah, 83, 84, something like that.
Yeah, I saw that over at the Cine 6 over here in town. Love that. Cine 6 right off of Staples. Now it's the trampoline place right by Sonic. Good times back then. I used to get dropped off at the movie theaters and hang out for like 6 hours and jump movie theaters from one to the other. Good times. So number one, coming in at number one with over 6,000 confirmed freaking kills. Sadako Yamu. I got to get that Yamamura. Sadako Yamamura with 6,000 kills. And I'm talking about the Ring fucking films, man. I'm talking, when you watch this videotape, man, that's it. Sakayu's coming for you and you die.
Yeah. And
not one of the most scarier kind of killers, when you compare him to somebody like yourself, Art, but he's making kills, and a kill is a kill when it comes to
and it was The Ring was a good movie, man, and I saw the American version before I ever touched any of the Japanese ones.
Yeah.
And it was, because I'm 42, so that movie came out, I was younger, not super really young. I think I was in like my 20s when that movie came out, or maybe my teens, like late teens. But it was definitely a disturbing movie, especially the imagery that was on the VHS itself when it played. It just came out of nowhere, and you didn't really understand what was going on, and then the movie builds up. So all of my kids, this is how much I love horror, guys. All of my children are named after horror movie characters. So my oldest son is Damien from The Omen. Yes. My daughter Samara from The Ring, and then my baby girl, my 16-month-old, she's Charlie Ray. So I named her after Chucky, Charles Lee Ray. So I named her Charlie Ray. Yeah. So, these movies, this genre holds a very special place in my heart, and I love The Ring, and like even the Japanese versions, they're twisted films, man. And it's just a great watch. You get that. Granted, I don't get it anymore, but that's why I love watching it with my wife, because she gets scared. I don't get scared anymore, man. I'm so desensitized to the genre that I don't watch it. I don't watch it for that adrenaline like I used to when I was a kid. I watch it now because I enjoy it. And she finds that disturbing. She's like, I don't see how you can go to sleep watching a horror movie. And I'm like, it's relaxing to me. Like it's not something that freaks me out anymore.
Yeah.
Same here with that, man. Like my wife also enjoys horror, and we'll watch them like before we go to sleep. And like I don't really get scared anymore, but for me it's more like the story, I'm like gravitating toward the story, or like the imagery, the direction. And I'm also like a franchise fan, so just like seeing the characters,
I'm like you guys. I haven't been scared in a long time, but I have seen things that I didn't expect that shocked me. I find myself more with some of the newer disturbing films that I get upset. I get angry.
Yeah. Definitely. And just to address Nico in the chat, says, take it back, Lord. Jason vs. Freddy is a fucking cult classic. I don't disagree. I love that movie. I love it so much. But if I get a Freddy and Michael movie, I don't want it to go the same route. But Freddy vs. Jason is a great film. We just reviewed it a few episodes back on the Gore and More podcast, because we went through the entire Friday the 13th library. Then we did Nightmare on Elm Street this year, and so we wrapped it all up with Freddy vs. Jason. And I absolutely I can quote that film from the beginning to the end. My wife gets mad at me because when we watch it, I'm there quoting the whole fucking movie because I know it. But yeah, that's a great film, and the soundtrack is fucking awesome.
It is great. Yeah, like, and it looks great too. Like the visuals, the kills. I'm a fan of cheese. I like those versus films, man. I like the AVPs. One thing though, man, is a miss, dude. I really wish they got Kane Hodder, dude. It kind of sucks what they did to him on that.
Yeah.
How they kind of like just ditched him out last minute sort of thing. But
Yeah, definitely.
I think is it Dave Mears that plays him, or I
Ken
think they have
Kirzinger. Ken Kirzinger does it in Freddy vs. Jason. Mears is the in the remake.
Yeah, right. Now he looks great though. That's one of my favorite looks of the Jason for sure. Is that Freddy versus Jason one?
I like
I
the
wish they got
look,
hotter.
with the exception of the Frankenstein boots. That is the only thing about that look that I just absolutely hate is the Frankenstein boots. That's other than that, I love the look. It's menacing, but the dude's already tall as hell. You don't need to make him even taller. Like he was already a giant compared to Robert, and to make him even taller and more Frankenstein like. I call him Franken Jason. That's my nickname for him is Franken Jason because he's very Frankenstein like in that movie.
Good points. And thanks for chiming in, Nico. Hell yeah. And Jacob, thanks for joining us in the show as well. Let's get started with the list. All right. Dave,
All right.
go ahead and let's get started with you. I want to get into some of these disturbing movies that you've had the pleasure of enjoying and bringing into your psyche. Let's start with your number 10.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go all disturbing, because like the majority of you guys, I don't like top 10s because with every new movie I watch, everything kind of shifts around.
Yeah.
Right. There's going to be some playing. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. And in fact, my number 10 is actually one that I've been looking for quite a while. I saw it way back in 2016 when it first came out, and it's called They're Watching.
Oh, yeah.
Have y'all heard of that?
Yes.
I've heard of it. I have never watched it. It is on our list for next year for the podcast.
It's found footage style.
Okay.
Yeah, it kept me interested. I mean, it didn't hold back on the kills and the gores. But what you're expecting or thinking is going to happen kind of happens, but not in the way you think. The ending of this movie took this thing to a whole new level. I mean, y'all have seen Late Night with the Devil?
Yes.
This one's at times 10.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
I may have to throw that on tonight.
It was like at this moment when you realize what was going to happen and they decided to let shit hit the fan, they let it all go.
Damn.
I literally, because I watched it on a streaming service before I ordered it called Found. And my wife was sitting across from me, and I jumped back and said, "What the fuck did I just see?"
Nice.
And
I like that.
immediately had to go out and get the Blu-ray of it.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! It's
So
a keeper.
That's my number 10.
All right.
Which director is that? Do you know? Like, because I'm looking it up, and there's a few they're watching. Is it the one from 2016, 2019? Like,
2016. I think he said 2016.
There's a couple of them.
Mm-hmm. Is this the one directed by Jay Lender?
It may be.
Is it? What does the box look like? You got.
Well, there's. This is my box.
Oh, cool.
But there's another one where it shows like Red House.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Okay. Right.
You see that one?
Yeah, I see that one.
It's on Tubi.
Movie.
Looks like it's like about a TV crew or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I've never seen it.
And some of the effects are really well done. I was surprised.
That sounds good. They're watching. Must see. Hell yeah. What you got next, Dave?
Oh, you want me to go through my whole 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, now we're gonna. This one's on the list just because it's probably the most infamous one that was ever released. And I actually got a hold of a bootleg copy way back when from a friend of mine in New York that owned a movie theater. And this is the one that was banned and it couldn't be shown in America for some time. Salo. 120 Days of Sodom.
That sounds sick. I haven't seen that shit.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Then don't. Because once you start, you can't stop. It's in Italian with subtitles. It's based on the writings of Marquis de Sade. And it's set post World War II. And it is sick. It's twisted. And it's the only movie after I watch, I literally felt like I had to go shower.
Damn.
Damn. You're not making a good case for me not to watch it.
I know, and that's what, it's weird because my son-in-law and my daughter came over one night like, hey, we got a copy of Salo, and I'm like, don't watch it. And then that was on Saturday night. They come back Sunday, and he looked at me and goes, why don't I ever listen to you?
Wow.
You warned them.
If y'all haven't seen that one, I would. I know you're going to watch it, so just get it over with.
Yeah, just get it over with.
I actually have the very first release of it on DVD.
Oh, sick.
Which I've kept in my collection. I guess my next one's going to be, because it's really jump-started me with my love for horror, was the original Friday the 13th, the uncut version.
Whoa, all right.
Cool.
So everybody knows why everybody loves that one. Another one I'm going to add is a film called Livid from France.
Okay.
Real atmospheric, real creepy feeling. And then once again, when things let loose, it gets really good.
All right.
I mean, I don't know if y'all are aware of when the French did what they called the French extremist films, that they were setting out to shock people.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if they didn't do it with most of them.
Fuck yes.
So check that one out. Another one I'm sure you guys seen. If you haven't, you might want to see it because it's really twisted. It was made in 1972. Andy Warhol's Frankenstein.
Andy Warhol's Frankenstein.
Oh, I have not seen that in years.
Fuck, I didn't know he had a fucking version of Frankenstein. How about that?
He also did Andy Warhol's Dracula.
Wow. Fuck, okay.
And they're both filled with gore and all little twisted tidbits, which Andy Warhol did.
Sick. Very cool. All right. Fuck yeah. What else you got?
Okay, what number I'm at?
I think that makes 5.
5? All right. 5 is another French movie called Frontiers.
Frontiers.
Part of the French extremists. It starts off with these guys and a girl, 2 girls, and they rob a bank, and then they're getting out of town, and they wind up getting separated. One guy gets shot, so they got to take care of him. So 3 of them pull into this hostel, hotel, whatever. And then finally the second bunch gets there, and the way the movie turns on a dime, and all the gore that's thrown at you, especially at the end. And I know you wanted to say on the final 3 that your favorite scene. In this one here, the girl is looking up at the guy that's getting ready to kill her, and you watch his head explode right in front of you.
Oh, shit.
And it, of course, all lands on her.
Oh, fuck.
But check it out. Frontiers is a real good one.
Cool. Yes.
So that's number 5. Number 4, I've always liked George Romero.
Yes.
But when he did
Zombies,
Dawn of the Dead,
yeah,
I actually went to a midnight showing of that. And I've never heard so many people freaking out in their life. And I'm sitting there, I'm in heaven.
Yeah, loving it.
So that's number 4. Number 3, my God, this hits harder. Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh, good one. That's a good one.
Did you know the director was arrested?
Yeah, and he had to go to trial.
He killed people.
Yep.
Anyway,
there's a lot of controversy with that movie, man.
And I loaned it to a buddy, and he called me and said, "What the fuck did you just give me?" He goes, "Is this a snuff?" And I'm like, "No, it's a real movie, dude." You know, the only thing I didn't like about those type of movies is the animal cruelty.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, you can kill as many people as you want. I don't really care, probably, but another one. That's number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite scene.
Yes.
Got to be the pole when they
Oh,
impel
shit.
the girl,
Yeah.
because everybody remembers it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so I guess that was it. But I thought the whole movie, I didn't even realize when I watched it, it was kind of done in a found footage style, which it is considered.
Yeah.
And I remember actually thinking, like, man, how'd they get away with all this stuff? This is pretty wrong here,
Right. It's fucking wrong. All right.
I mean, like, y'all have seen it, so you saw what happened to the first film crew, right?
Yeah.
And I was sitting back and go, good, fuck them. They got what they deserve, And, but I did like what the guy said at the end when they said, what do you want to do with it? And he said, burn it.
Mhm.
So that's number 3.
Yeah.
Number 2. Have y'all seen a film called Irreversible?
No.
It's another French film. It is shot ending to beginning.
Wow.
And it's got one of the most brutal rape scenes. And it just seems like it goes on and on forever.
Oh, fuck.
And I was so infuriated.
Yeah.
And just freaked out. And
Damn.
to watch it go from the way it did back to the beginning, it made it even harder.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing how good of a person this young woman was, and how full of life she was.
Oh, shit.
And it just made it difficult. I don't know if there is a favorite scene, because not one of them is really up my alley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it,
just,
man.
It was
just
brutal.
So fucking brutally sick.
Yeah, and it just
in the
seems
worst
like
way.
It wants to drag you in. It seems like it goes on forever. Number 1,
right.
because it freaked me out, and I would recommend that no woman ever watch it. Inside. 2007, another French extremist movie.
Oh, fuck.
This is one of the goriest movies I've ever seen.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know if you guys want to give you a little hint of what it's about.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah.
Okay, one girl's pregnant, one girl's not.
Oh.
Inside.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets me. I can imagine. Oh, fuck.
I just got it on Blu-ray. But
wow.
My favorite scene is this girl locks herself in the upstairs bathroom, and this other girl's trying to get to her. And the police come in because someone from around the neighborhood has called that there's a disturbance. Well, he tells her to stay downstairs with his partner. He goes upstairs. Well, while that guy turns his head because he hears something, she takes scissors and shoves them in his ear.
Oh, shit.
So you don't see it at the time. It goes back upstairs where she opens the door for the cop, and he's telling her it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And he leans in to get her. And I mean, it's one of the most graphic shots I've ever seen. You watch the whole side of his face just leave his head.
Oh, fuck.
Because she went behind him with a gun. She took the other guy's gun and blew his head out.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
But the whole movie is uneasy to watch, but I've just never experienced a film like that. There has been a 2019 remake, but it's American, so don't bother.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody said. 2007, Inside. Check it out.
Definitely. Dan, that sounds great. I like that list, Dave. I like that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys ever want to get together and hang out? I just show you all the weird
extreme.
Yeah. Like that French, all those French extreme movies right there. Some sick shit right there.
I like a lot of the Asian horror too. You know, the extreme, the cat food stuff. Hey, Dave, have you ever checked out a director by the name of Stephen Biro? He has a company called Unearthed Films.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's right up your alley. All his stuff is like that. He did that kind of modern take of the American Guinea Pig stuff.
Oh
He's got
shit.
he's got a few other like kind of like torture films. I picked up a few of his movies over at Frightmare, and yeah, he's got some good stuff too.
Oh
Yeah, I've
shit.
heard of Unearth, Black Lava. In fact, I've actually got them on the header up top. And you guys ever heard of Horror News Network?
No.
Check them out.
I don't think so.
They give good reviews. They tell you good stuff coming up, but they also have lists of like the world's most disturbing movies. Or I sent Tony what they call the iceberg.
Yeah.
Where they take the most disturbing movies and it's done like an iceberg.
Nice.
Oh shit, nice.
And it starts out, it's really weird because in the disturbing movies, the lesser disturbings are at the top. Further you go down deeper into the water, that's where the real ones are, the real disturbing. Then I sent him one for found footage and then the Japanese movies.
Man, one of the recent like disturbing movies that I watched was called When Evil Lurks. Did you check that out?
Oh yes,
one. I got it.
Yeah,
that's a good flick.
dude,
Yeah,
that was freaking. That was badass. Like my wife couldn't hang with that one. She went to bed, and I kept watching. And got me, man. I really like that director. I think he's from Argentina, but he also did a film called Terrified, and that was also
Terrified.
really good.
Yep.
Yeah. But When Evil Lurks, man, I was like, oh shit. That one got me.
I'm like the rest of you guys. Like my wife's not really into horror, but she's kind of gotten a little more used to it. She actually sat down with me and we watched The Substance the other night.
Oh, nice.
Dude, I still need to see that.
Hmm?
I still need to see that. That's the new one, right?
Yeah. It's
Ew,
twisted.
Yeah. I need to watch that. Demi Moore's in it, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I heard it's really
all
good.
in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see that. Hell yes. All right, Daniel. Let's start with your list. Show me your top 10.
So let me pull up my list real quick, man. And for me, it's like I love all that shit you guys been mentioning too. My list is more like the stuff that shaped me, you know, and I love like the slashers and all that kind of stuff. And I'm a big franchise guy, so it might be kind of surprising that I left some out. Like for example, Jason's my favorite slasher, but I don't have a single Friday the 13th on my list just because for me it's hard to put like one Friday the 13th film. You know what I mean?
It's easy.
Like,
it's easy.
Like for me personally, like my favorite one is part 8, and everybody that one gets a lot of hate, dude. But for me, I love that one, man.
You know, but my issue with that film is for a movie called Jason Takes Manhattan. There's not a lot of taking Manhattan in that fucking movie. It should have been called Jason on a Boat.
Jason on a Boat, dude. I'll still take it, man. It's got some great kills.
Yeah, it does.
Like the boxing kill. It's like one of my favorite kills of all time.
Super iconic boxing.
Dude.
Kill, man, right
So
there.
good.
Just thinking you can square up with Jason, and nope.
Yeah. And then same. I don't have any Halloween, dude, just because I can't really pick one. I mean, I have my favorite. My favorite's Halloween 2 for like nostalgic purposes, but yeah, just overall as a franchise. So here we go, man. Like I would say 10. I'm going with Sleepaway Camp because like it can't be film, but there's something about it that like it kind of takes itself serious too. It's got some great kills, especially that kitchen kill with the cook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. And for me personally, I think it's got like one of the best final reveals, you know, of all time in horror, man. Like it just when I first saw it for the first time, dude, my heart sank.
Yeah.
And every time I would like get excited to show that with friends and to see their reaction, and they would like get scared. It's like a scary ass fucking scene, dude. When you get that, you know what I'm talking about, right? The reveal.
When she's standing there.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you brought her up earlier in terms of the like her rankings of kills.
Right.
I feel like Angela is a bit of an underrated slasher.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also a fan of a part 2 and 3, even though they kind of get a little silly. But yeah. It's overall great, and I love Felissa Rose. She's really a sweetheart, a great actress. So yeah, for sure, Sleepaway Camp. That's a really great movie. For number 9. All right, guys. So, like for me, I love sci-fi too. Right?
Yes.
And so,
I,
like sci-fi and horror, I just feel like are like a perfect match.
Yeah.
I like that
So,
that outer space shit. I think things get scarier when you're out of space or when you're underwater. You know,
dude,
you're in a cabin or something. You know, like
yeah,
those kind of movies just get a little take me a little somewhere else, man, because
right,
it
right,
just
right. And
it's
dude,
far out. It's fucking, you really don't have any control in those situations.
yeah, dude, for sure, man. And I'm a big fan of like the B stuff, like the B movies, like the cheesy. I just love like the story and the writing. So my number 9 is a movie called The Stuff.
Oh
I
yeah,
love that
dude.
movie, dude.
Oh, the
That
Yeah,
stuff.
the stuff.
yeah,
Yes.
Right. Look
Hell
at
yeah.
the stuff.
yeah, dude. I love The Stuff. I love Larry Cohen. He's a fantastic director, and I just love the story, dude, about this like extraterrestrial that possesses minds, but the company just turns it into a dessert, a treat,
Yeah.
and it's just like
Yes.
consuming people to eat more. It's a brilliant concept of like
Fuck
company
yeah.
greed, and it's just cool, dude. Super cool.
That's
Like
the
that.
secret.
And
That's the secret to McDonald's.
yeah.
Shout out
Also,
to my
I,
wife
I,
in
I
the
got to give a
in the
special
chat.
shout out because this movie also has a special place in my heart. It was the first horror movie that my wife and I watched together.
Oh hell yeah, man.
Oh, cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. So that one's great. All right, and then number 8, I had to throw one of these films up there because I'm a massive, probably one of my favorite like character actors is Jeffrey Combs. I love Jeffrey
Mm-hmm.
Combs to death,
Yep.
and I love Stuart Gordon. Like
Yeah.
films like Reanimator,
Man.
From Beyond. But
Yeah.
the one I got on my list for number 8 is Castle Freak.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Castle Freak is such an underrated movie, man.
dude, it really is. It's such an underrated movie. I love the tone. It really hits you in the feels because you feel for the family and their struggles. And of course, you got the freak Giorgio, dude, one of the an icon in my opinion. And Jeffrey Combs, man. I mean, what can you say? Like anything he does, like I'll watch. Like, and he's done
Yeah.
like, voice acting on like Batman and stuff. But
Yeah.
his performance in Castle Freak is just stellar, like top tier. I love that guy, and so Castle Freak for sure.
Did you catch the remake?
Yeah. Oh, I did see the remake, man, and I was a bit underwhelmed, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I like that Barbara Crampton was involved. I think she was a producer.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was good. It was cool for like just bringing the name back, but the original is just
The
iconic.
original is the best, man. And
The soundtrack too.
Yeah.
Talking about something that we talked about it, like we love the kills and the visuals, but another big thing is the music, man.
Yes.
The music
right.
of horror.
yeah,
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
it's so iconic, and I think Castle Freak has a really great score. And what's cool is like a lot of these scores, dude, are on Spotify, so you can like
Mhm.
pull them up and like cruise around and like
Yeah.
Castle Freak,
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's my number 8. So for number 7, I'm gonna take it back to probably the first horror movie that I saw because I didn't really grow up in a horror household. My parents watched it, but they were like mindful of like what little Daniel was watching, right?
Yeah.
So in 5th grade, man, Scream came out, dude, and my parents rented it, and my buddy came over, and my parents were watching it in like the family room, and we were like kind of peeking from the corner, like to see what was going on. And dude, the first glimpse I got was that opening scene with Drew Barrymore just getting her entrails ripped out.
Yeah.
That to me right there in that moment, I was like in 5th grade, dude. That changed my life. I'd never seen anything like that. And like my friend was scarred. He was so scared that he had to call his mom to come pick him up.
Oh shit.
So yeah,
Unforgettable.
and just as a franchise, I think it's cool. It sucks kind of what's going on right now with like the Melissa Barrera stuff, and I'm excited to see Neve Campbell come back because Neve Campbell is like my number 1 final girl. She's such a badass.
She is. Yeah.
So Scream as a whole just has a special place in my heart, and just kind of bringing back that slasher in the 90s, you know, just kind of Wes Craven's masterful direction. So, yeah, Scream for sure.
Very cool one.
All right, let's see where we're at. We're on number 6. Okay. So I didn't put Jason or Michael on the list, but even though this guy isn't like I would say my favorite slasher, he's probably my third favorite slasher. So for number 6, I've got the first Nightmare on Elm Street. And
all right.
It's just it
was dark.
It's a very dark movie. Yeah. And like I love the franchise, right? Like all of them. My second favorite is actually New Nightmare because I really like that approach. I think that's
it brings back that dark Freddy that we were missing for so long in the films.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, and I also think that writing is brilliant of like the movie within
what a
movie.
Great idea.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah, the first one I just think it's like scary. You know, it's like a cool movie, a cool character. There's some great kills. You guys mentioned the Johnny Depp. I also love the Tina kill. You know. And then when she's like also dragged in the hallway, it's creepy as hell.
Oh, yes.
And talk about another iconic theme, man. I love that Nightmare on Elm Street theme. It's great. It's great.
Good shit right there. It was before it became fun. It was still horror right then.
Yeah.
Before the comedy got thrown in part 2. And it was so fucking dark. The fingers, you know, in the boiler room, the shadows that they showed, the music. Just great fucking horror right there at the beginning for that Wes Craven
and very minimal Freddy in the movie at that. If you go back and you watch it, Freddy is so very minimal in the movie, but what makes it terrifying is finding out the legend of what occurred and what is causing Freddy to come back and do these things.
Yeah,
you know, him being on screen is absolutely terrifying, especially watching it as a kid. But watching it as an adult, you see it for a whole different thing than what it actually was watching it as a kid. Because as kids, when we watch these films, our imaginations go wild and it's like, holy shit. But, you know, when you watch it as an adult, you're like, oh, I see this from a whole different angle now. And it makes the movie that much more enjoyable.
Yeah. As a parent, you know what I mean? Now we're a parent. And to think, you know, if somebody was fucking with our kids, fuck yeah, we're going to fucking find that bastard and burn him alive and all that shit. So,
man, I also
perspective.
Yeah, I also love the poster, like the movie poster.
Yeah,
it's iconic. It's so good. And then
I love artwork with those movie posters. Good point to bring up right there. That was some good fucking posters made for these movies.
You got to think, man. I feel sorry for today's generation that will never be able to walk into a video store and see the artwork that were on the VHS tapes, man. Because that's how I picked my movies out when my dad would take me to go rent movies. Is I would just look at the box and be like, I want to watch this. I want to watch this. You know, I didn't know what the hell the movies were about, but if it had a cool, you know, box art, I'm watching it.
Definitely. And then also, I love Nancy, Heather Langenkamp. She's my second favorite final girl.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And I love like she came back for 3 and then New Nightmare. So yeah, she's fantastic. So that was my number 6. All right, so number 5, we're going to take it back to space. And this is another movie that I saw in theaters. And it's a funny story because my neighbor's dad was Maclovio Perez, the weather guy. You guys remember him?
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, kids, let's go to the movies. And we were like in 6th grade, 5th grade. And he took us to go see Event Horizon.
Oh, shit, man.
And man.
That was cool.
Dude, yeah, that movie, it scarred me in the theater because like I was a kid seeing that on the big screen at like, dark in the theater, and dude, a great concept. I love that kind of like, that space horror, there's this void in this area.
Yeah.
Shit's gone wrong. And I always kind of like had this interesting theory of like there being a connection to Hellraiser in that movie. So I really like that connection too.
There's theories.
And of course, Sam Neill. What a fucking badass. I love Sam Neill. Most people know him as the Jurassic Park guy.
Nah, he's the Event Horizon
he's
guy.
done great horror.
He's also one of my favorite horror character actors. So shout out Sam Neill. Event Horizon. That's definitely one of my top 5.
Fuck yeah.
And then kind of moving on again, kind of hard to pick one out of this is another franchise, but I just love how iconic and savage this killer is. Okay, and you mentioned him in your kill count earlier,
All
but I'm
right.
going with the first Child's Play. So Child's Play 1, yeah. It's just, Chucky's a fucking savage, an icon. Like, he's got some of the greatest kills, especially in the show. I love how the show has kind of like rekindled his madness, because he's completely out of control in the show, right? But if we just kind of like go through his like cinematic history, he's got so many like amazing one-liners and all kinds of stuff. But I really like that first film, man. It's dark. Just the whole concept. You got to have at least one of these like in your list of the toy coming to life, because I was a kid always playing with toys, and my daughter plays with toys, and we have toys all in the house. And I just love that idea of like a possible killer doll, dude. And you get that from Chucky and just everything about it, man. The music too. It's really got this. I like before a kill, you kind of get like hit with this like this quick like shudder of like music real quick, and it's iconic, man. And
very cool, yeah.
Andy also just great. So yeah, Child's Play, I would say for sure. All right, and then moving to my top 3, I would say these are definitely like favorites, like for sure. Like maybe they'll wiggle around in the 5.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is Dead Alive.
Hell yeah,
Jackson, and I fucking love that movie, dude. Like,
it's great, bro.
Like, my cousin showed me this, dude, and it was like we would always go up for the holidays and spend Christmas there, and my cousin would always show me stuff, dude. And I gotta give a shout out to Diego for kind of really getting me into this kind of stuff. And
hell yeah,
that one got me. I mean, it's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But when I saw it, like I had never seen like gore at that level. Like I was again probably like in elementary or something,
Yeah.
And so yeah, just like it's quote like the goriest film of all time. I'm sure that's kind of like been surpassed by now, but it's just really cool, dude. I love practical effects too. So I just love how like they're really going for it, and it's really cool to kind of like see Peter Jackson in his like early years,
yeah, doing that horror shit.
People would like never expect that. They're like, "Oh, you mean the Lord of the Rings guy?"
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And we just reviewed that on Monday. On Gore and More. We just reviewed it on Monday, so it's still fresh in my mind, and it is a very gory. But the gore in it's not just regular gore; it's chunky gore. That's the way I described it, because it's so chunky. It's not just regular blood. It's like this chunky, pussy, just nastiness.
Yeah, man. And I remember, like, again, like as kids, we would like challenge each other. Hey, have you seen this or something? So I'd invite friends to come watch it, and like, there'd be sometimes my friends would like tell me to shut it off during that during that little dinner scene where they're like eating the porridge and then the ear falls in there.
Yeah,
like, it's just so gross,
Yeah.
I love it, and I'll probably say like we're talking like favorite scenes. I love the dog scene. It's terrible, but she's like, "You ate my dog," and like just like pulls it out of the grandma and like
not all of it.
Like, it's just awesome.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
fuck yeah.
Again, another fantastic score too. The music's really good too. It's kind of got this like comedic feel. You got the priest, I kick ass for the Lord. Come on, man.
Dude. The epic fucking line, bro. Epic line right there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Number 2, Hellraiser. The first Hellraiser, for sure, man. I mean, I love how dark it is. I'm a fan of the Hellraiser franchise, man. Like, I can actually sit and watch all of them, man. Like, I recently picked up that box set that they came out with of like the 4K scans, and I revisited like 4, and then like 5. So to me, they're fun, but that first one, dude, is just, it's a really dark and to me, great writing. Clive Barker, dude, just a master. And I just like the theme, it's like this cool concept to me of like, we seek more, like pleasure,
right.
The pleasure, like the guy fucking Frank like it's like sex isn't enough, you know? Like,
Yes, pleasures of the
it's
flesh.
more. Yeah. And so I think like yeah, overall, like that's my favorite one. And again, Kirsty, I love. She's probably like my third favorite final girl. I absolutely love her. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great. Actually, Lawrence. And my favorite scene from that movie is the iconic Jesus wept. It's just so sick. At the end, he's like looking at her, you know, tongue. He's like, Jesus wept, and then you just see him like get pulled apart. Yeah, hell yeah, first Hellraiser, man, awesome. And then number one, my favorite horror movie of all time, John Carpenter's The Thing. It's just my number one favorite horror film ever. I'm a huge practical effects guy, and to me, like those effects still hold up today. Incredible.
They look great.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I love the dogs.
Yeah, dude, and just everything about that movie, the chemistry with all the like actors and everything that they endured, like being in that climate and those cold conditions. You got Kurt Russell, yeah, Keith David, like, damn, it's so badass, man. And there's so many great scenes, like the claw scene, everything, the dog scene. But man, I would just probably say like my favorite scene from that movie is just the open ending, man.
Yeah.
Like, just they're sitting right there, you know, Childs.
Yes.
And you don't know who's the thing, right? Even like years later, like, you know,
we still don't know. We still don't know.
Man. Yeah, I attended the 40-year anniversary with the cast and John Carpenter, and man, we still don't know, you know. And I love that it's still talked about, and you can still watch it and find little things and make your own theories. And the thing is a masterpiece, man. So
love it.
That was my top 10, and thanks, man, for letting me relive some of those classics. I hope anybody watching or that, you know, is checking this out, definitely check out Dave and my list and the rest of the guys that are coming up too. So thanks.
Hell yeah. Way to go, Daniel. Okay, bring it on, Steve.
All right, man. So like I said, some of mine are going to be kind of controversial, but these are films that may not be the top 10 like of all time horror film, but these are the top 10 films I enjoy watching and that I can watch.
I'm going to step right out for a minute, guys.
You're good, Dave.
Okay, Dave, come on back.
These are films that I can watch over and over again and just enjoy them, and I don't get bored with these movies. So at number 10, House of a Thousand Corpses. I absolutely love that flick. Rob Zombie's first movie. Very, very Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. But it's just, I don't know, man. I can put it on and I just enjoy watching these people just go through it. And even when we meet the Firefly family, they're so crazy and they're so out there, and everyone is a different character. You know, they're not, while they're family, they're just all different characters. And it's just, I enjoy the hell out of that movie. Definitely one that I can watch over and over and over again.
Good one. That's the first zombie movie to make the list. Hell yeah.
Number 9, another Rob Zombie flick. And it is probably my favorite Halloween movie, Halloween by Rob Zombie.
The remake, yes.
I enjoy the hell. Now, there's a lot of people that don't like this movie. I enjoy the hell out of it. I love the backstory that we get to Michael. I love that he actually gave Michael Myers a reason for being this evil entity. You know, and a lot of people don't like that. They're like, oh, well, you know, even Tyler Mane, he's way too big to be Michael Myers. Dude, that version of Michael Myers is a beast. He is brutal. His kills are absolutely amazing. He's just this force that cannot be reckoned with. And so that's my number 9 is Rob Zombie's Halloween. Number 8, this is a film that I love. I can watch any time of the year. It does not have to be Halloween time. Trick or Treat.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Great anthology film. I love the way everything ties together. It's not scary by any means. I feel like it's a great introduction to horror film that you can show your young kids, because while some of it may be scary, it's not over the top scary. Now, maybe you're not going to want to show them because, you know, the werewolf chicks do show their boobs and stuff, but you know, but it's one of those films that every single part of the anthology that's going on, the stories that are being told, they're tied in so perfectly together.
Yeah.
And it just makes it this awesome film.
What's your favorite segment?
Ooh, I would probably probably the werewolf segment. I love the werewolf segment. Anna
Good.
Paquin,
So good.
you know, she was great in that role. I don't know. There's something about werewolves. I love werewolves, and so that one always stuck out to me. I do love the Sam one, which is like, you know, they're neck and neck. That whole main, you know, that's going on with the main story that's going on with the neighbor and stuff. I do love that also because I love the way Sam just fucks with him because all he wanted was his candy. That's it. He just wanted his candy. Give me the candy and I'll go away. I love that.
Dude, I like the dad one. I just gotta say that real quick.
Oh, dude, the dad one's fucked, bro. That's a fucked one. Yeah, that's a good one too.
Speaking of werewolf, guys, have y'all seen Dog Soldiers?
I have. That's a great flick.
No, not yet.
There's a I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for the Blumhouse Wolfman that's coming out.
Oh fuck, no.
The design, they revealed the design at the Universal Studios for the Horror Nights that they have. It looks like ass. Supposedly it's not the final look of the Wolfman, but the design that came out looked so bad. But there's another flick coming out called Werewolves, and it's got the dude that came out in The Purge. His name slips my mind right now, but it's very much like The Purge. So once a year, everybody is infected with this werewolf gene, with the exception of some people. So every year there's a supermoon. So you either hide and you know, try to protect yourself from a night full of werewolves, or you go out hunting if you're not infected with this gene. So it's very much like The Purge mixed with werewolves. I saw the trailer yesterday. It looks fucking dope.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right, number 7, Terrifier 2.
Yes, all right. You're
you
on
know,
the list.
While I enjoy the first film and All Hallows Eve, love it. Oh yeah. I enjoy, you know, All Hallows Eve was the first time I was ever introduced to Art the Clown. Super, super sick. Terrifier 2 just took it up to another level that 3 tried to surpass, and I still feel like 2 is still the more solid film. I love 3. I've seen it 3 times in theaters already. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It's great. But Terrifier 2 just upped the gore significantly. The story's kind of goofy, but I feel that in part 4, we're going to get what everything means. It's very religion based. So I feel like if you pay attention to the flick, there's a lot of religious stuff going on. And that's what I love, films that have to do with horror and religion. And that is very, very heavily influenced in this series so far. So I'm hoping we get some really cool stuff in part 4. But Terrifier 2 is my number 7. My number 6, Halloween 3. I absolutely love Halloween 3, man.
The Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch, man. It gets a bad rap because a lot of people hated that Michael Myers wasn't in it. And that it had nothing to do with the original 2 films, but it followed what the original series was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an anthology series. The only reason it was not an anthology series is because people hated the fact that Michael Myers wasn't in the third one. But I love the idea of this cult trying to basically destroy the world by these Halloween masks, you know, and it's even got that, you know, that Halloween song that plays on the TV,
the jingle,
very iconic. That jingle is super iconic. I play it every Halloween, and it's just one of those films that I absolutely
Silver Shamrock.
Adore.
That's it.
Yeah, the Silver Shamrock Company. Yeah, and I feel they had a missed opportunity to actually make part 3 canon when they came out with the new films, because we did see the Silver Shamrock masks in the new, you know, when they did the new films. So I feel they could have added that little aspect to the film that just tied them all in together, so people would quit bitching that it didn't have nothing to do with Michael Myers.
That's a great point. Yeah,
missed opportunity. My number 5 is one of my favorite films that I should have put in top 3, but I had to make space. So Maniac Cop 2. I don't know if you've ever seen Maniac Cop 2. Hands down is one of my favorite films. I have the mask. I have the costume. I had the mask. A guy in England made the mask for me. I cosplay as him, as Cordell, every once in a while. I've gone downtown and done photo shoots downtown as Cordell. Great movie, man. Bruce Campbell's in the original, and he's in a little piece of this one. And, you know, Bruce Campbell's the king, man. I love Bruce Campbell. The chin is amazing. But the look of Cordell in this film is so much more menacing than it was in the original film. Part 3 sucks. You don't have to watch part 3. Fuck part 3. So Maniac Cop 2, my number 5.
I also love Robert Davey or Davey, however you say it.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I am on number 4. My number 4 is Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors.
Oh,
that
yes.
is
Dream
the
Warriors.
first movie that is essentially an MTV flick. That with the times, and the music and just adding all of that. And it has one of the most iconic theme songs to any film ever.
That's the
Dawkins
first thing I
Dream
thought of.
Warriors.
Dawkins, baby.
Oh man, you hear it, you hear that music start, and you're like, fuck yeah, let's go. Freddie was, granted, Freddie was more on the goofy side in this one already, but it was still terrifying. It was, one of the scenes that sticks out to me is, when he's got the dude on the strings and you see his veins come out as the puppet strings, and it's just the way he toyed with these kids in this film. I feel it makes, it has to be on a top 10 list.
Yeah.
So now
I'm also thinking of it. I was thinking, is that the one where the girl where it shoots up and he comes out with the fucking needles?
Yes,
like, Get high.
Yeah.
I got that poster.
He's got
right there. You see it?
Yeah. Hell yeah. And like I said, he's just got some great kills. He's got some great kills in that movie, and the finger glove with the syringes is just. And then her veins are like little mouths, and they're like, like it's gross, but it's fucking great.
Good one.
So getting into my top 3, all right. One of the very first horror movies that I can remember renting on my own, and I remember seeing the cover, and my dad refused. My dad was the horror buff in the family. My mom hated horror movies, did not want to watch them, but my dad loved horror. And that's where my love of horror comes from, because he would rent the tapes and we'd watch them. And of course, I'd have nightmares and have to go sleep with them and shit. But I grew up, there was a small little shop across the street. It was a store called Model Market. And they had a little, section where you could go rent tapes and stuff. And so my mom called the guy and was like, hey, I'm going to let him go rent a tape, whatever. So I walked across the street, went and rented this tape. Went upstairs. My cousin lived upstairs in the apartment upstairs. So I went upstairs. We sat down, popped it in. Super excited to watch this movie because we loved zombie films. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. We loved that shit. The thing that made this movie so terrifying for us was the fact that it was the first time we saw that you can't kill a zombie. So number 3 is Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, yes.
That movie fucking scarred me for the longest time because, as a kid, I'm like, oh, well, you just got to shoot them in the head and they're gone. No, you can chop these fuckers up into little pieces. There's nothing you can do about it. There's the pieces are going to come after you.
It's still moving.
Yeah. So that movie right there, and like I said, that's the first movie I was ever able to rent on my own. And holy shit, man, it's such a great movie, and even the music, man, it's got this punk rock aspect to it. It's just it's great. And even the effects in the movie, the look of the zombies, the fact that they can still talk, that they're still in there when they have that zombie. My favorite scene, probably because it fucking sticks out to me still to this day, is when they're trying to talk to this half-bodied skeleton zombie chick,
and he's tied down.
Yeah, and they're asking her, why are you doing this? And she says, we don't want to eat you. We just want your brains because it stops the pain of being dead. And it's like, oh fuck. That adds a whole other mind fuck. Damn, it hurts to be dead. Like what? Like, oh my God. So that's my number.
Myself rotting.
Shout out to Melinda Clark too, man.
What?
Shout out to Melinda Clark. She's awesome in that.
Yeah, definitely. My number 2 is Friday the 13th, Part 4. I love Part 4. It was initially Part 6 because I do love Part 6 as well, because that's when we get the first real zombie Jason but I went back and I looked at it again. I'm like, no, you know what? I love part 4 a little bit more just because of Jason's look. He's still this big, bulky. You don't know if he's dead or not or what the hell's going on. It doesn't give you a clear answer because we did see him die
in the
in
water.
part 3.
Yeah.
Well, in part 3, we saw him die. He was hanging from his neck. So how the hell did he survive? What the hell's going on?
Oh,
We get introduced to Tommy Jarvis. Yeah. We get introduced to Tommy Jarvis, who ends up being, a character in the next 2 films as well. And Corey Feldman just did great in this movie, man. And I feel like the kills in this flick are great. And it's probably, like I said, it's my favorite Friday the 13th, right there with well, actually 4, 5, and 6 are probably all my favorite Friday the 13th. I love those equally. And my favorite scene in this one would probably be at the end where Tommy is just hacking the fuck out of Jason after he's already slid down the machete and he's dead, and Tommy just starts going to town,
going to town.
Yeah, making sure that this evil monster stays dead. And of course, as we see in part 6, he fucks up and brings him back to life. So way to go, Tommy.
Dude, you also got the iconic Crispin Glover dance scene.
Oh, yeah, bro. The dance, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's a dead fuck, man.
Kills it. Yeah.
But yes.
All right. And my number 1 all-time favorite horror movie that I can just put on repeat and watch over and over and over again. Hail to the king himself, Evil Dead 2.
Oh, shit. There you go.
I fucking love Evil Dead 2. I love all the films. Don't get me wrong. I love all the films. But there's just something about Evil Dead 2 that is fun. It's not just a horror film the way the first one was. You don't even really need to watch the first one.
You don't.
Because it gives you the first film in like the first 15 minutes of part 2 anyways. So I love this film so much that I mean, and even Army of Darkness, it spawned Army of Darkness, and Army of Darkness, while it's not a traditional horror movie, it's still a great flick, man. And you get all these awesome one-liners from Ash, and I feel like that's what made Ash even more iconic was Army of Darkness. Granted, it wasn't a box office success, but we still got Ash back in Ash versus Evil Dead, which I thought was really cool. The remake 2013 Evil Dead, fucking awesome flick, bloody as hell. I wasn't a huge fan at first, the first time I watched it, until the very end after the credits, when you see Ash's silhouette and he turns to the camera and goes, groovy. I was sold on 2013 right there. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And even with Evil Dead Rise, it's great. I hope they continue this series. And Evil Dead 2 is, like I said, that for me is the catalyst for any love of horror that I have, because it shows that horror doesn't just have to be gore, because it's gory. It doesn't just have to be jump scares, because there are jump scares, but it can be funny. It can be funny and it can still be a good movie. My favorite scene in that fucking movie is when Ash cuts his fucking hand off and it starts kicking his ass beforehand, and he's just doing all this slapstick shit and, beating himself up. And then he finally cuts it off and it's still fucking with him. It's still running around, throwing him the finger and stuff. And, and I love that we come full circle in Ash versus Evil Dead. And that plays a huge part, is him having to find his hand again, because it never died. It was still out there doing its thing.
Shit.
Yeah. So that's my top 10 of my favorite horror flicks.
Great one, man. You guys have put out some great movies, man. And what I love is you guys have come from your horror movie backgrounds and your love. I don't think we've had any kind of crisscrossing.
No,
the movies, but some of the franchise being in common.
Yeah, no, we haven't had any that overlap. Yeah,
right. Cool. I think that's fucking awesome. Well, I've got some over here too, and I wouldn't say they overlap, but I think we're in the same kind of vein. So I'll start off with my top 10, and taking at number 10, I'm going to start with James Cameron's Terminator.
Hell yeah.
And, when I saw it as a kid, and I went to the little movie theater right here off of Staples and Doddridge, it was called The Movies, and it was a small little theater, and that's where I saw Terminator. And I remember Arnold from the Conan movie, but seeing him in that kind of robotic kind of way, where he would just, when he shot up the club, when he shot the first girl looking for, you got to give me her name.
Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor. How can I forget Sarah Connor? But yes, and then the police station where he slaughters the police station, and it kind of stayed in my psyche. And now here we are, 2024, and AI is coming. And when is the fucking singularity gonna hit? And when is all this shit gonna be a real thing that we saw in the movie back
coming,
when we were
bro.
growing up?
Fucking Elon Musk just revealed those what is he calling them? Those robots, the Prime robots or whatever the hell they're called.
The Tesla robots.
Tesla robot, bro. That's
hell yeah, dude. I'm glad you put on Terminator on that list. I was gonna put Terminator on my list, but man, like it's so iconic for sure, dude. And that's my favorite of the franchise because I mean T2 is like phenomenal. Like
yes, T2's great.
I love that horror element of the first one.
Yeah. Okay, so that's number 10. Number 9, and I'm glad this one didn't come up yet, but Don Coscarelli's first Phantasm.
Fuck yeah, bro.
That science fantasy horror going on with the tall man, dude. The fucking tall man.
Tall man is terrifying, bro.
Big time. As a kid, seeing the tall man,
right? That little thing he throws,
and the spinning ball that drills through your head.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. The mansion being all white. Going to that one room that had the 2 poles, and you could like see into another dimension and would look like could be hell. Great stuff, man. So Phantasm right there. Moving to number 8. I love this one, dude. And this guy's known for doing some far off shit. I'm talking about David Cronenberg's Scanners.
Oh, Scanners is great too.
Excellent movie.
Dude, whenever you can fucking use that telepathy and telekinesis to focus on someone's brains and finally to make them their head explode. That's some powerful shit. That's like some ultra I'm trying to think of the Ultra K or help me out here, some governmental shit.
Oh yeah. I know what you're trying to say. It slips from my mind, but and I feel like Scanners is one of those sci-fi horror movies that could easily, if you flipped a little bit, it could be like superhero-esque. It could easily fit into like an X-Men universe or some shit because of the telepathy aspect of it.
They brought a little bit of back in the Boys. There's a character in the Boys that girl can blow up heads and shit.
Herman had it or Flesh Suit Man, MK Ultra.
MK Ultra, there you go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, that kind of crazy shit where you can make somebody's head blow up in the next room or someplace else. So that was my number 8, Scanners.
Tony, I read an article on how they did that particular scene.
Yeah.
And they actually, the whole head was, of course, made up.
Uh-huh.
And then the guy that was, what's his name? Ironside?
Yes, Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
Yes.
They actually put a bulletproof glass between him and that head. And they actually had a guy get up under that table into the body from the backside and blow it off with a double barrel shotgun.
Holy shit.
Fuck. No wonder it's got that fucking so full that effect. It just literally everywhere. Just thousands of pieces everywhere.
Have you guys ever seen Maniac?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the one with Joe Spinelli and
dude, the original. That's a really good
on
question.
The hood and blows his own head off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
They're setting that him and that girl are setting. It took him 3 times because he jumped up and he said, "I've never looked at myself and was going to blow my own head off."
I know. Oh, that's shit,
crazy.
Right?
They were actually supposed to do a crossover film for Maniac Cop 2, and the main character from Maniac was actually supposed to be the character, I forget the guy's name, that is like basically worshiping Cordell in part 2. That was supposed to be the character from Maniac.
The Joe Spinelli character?
Yeah, Joe Spinelli's character was supposed to cross over into Maniac Cop 2, but he passed away before the film or whatever.
Yeah. He also was in the Rockies as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think Undertaker, he did that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, talk about
Yes.
talk about
Hell yeah.
directors too, man. You got Cronenberg, man. I love Videodrome.
Yeah.
That's an awesome one.
Videodrome is awesome too, bro. The fucking
Videodrome, that's
tumor
right.
gun.
Did you
Hell
guys
yeah.
see his latest Crimes of the Future? Did you guys check that
Mm-mm.
out?
No, not yet.
Yeah, check
Wow.
that one out, man. Like it's a real it's not really like gory or anything, but it's like this really interesting concept of like art and murder and like surgeries and sort of
Oh
like how
shit.
people are interested in a show. And so people are like watching
Yeah.
these live surgeries and it's almost as if like to get like joy and pleasure and people are investing money into this and it's got that Cronenberg kind of like madness twist to it. So definitely check that
Yes.
one out.
Media madness, the psych, and getting into that, that freak nature some people are into like that. Yes, I get it. Okay, let's bang away another one. Number 7 comes in at Train to Busan. Hell yeah.
Oh,
Young Sang Ho,
great,
Train to Busan.
bro.
Back in
Great flick.
2016, this one came out. I hadn't heard of it. My son said, "Dad, I want to see this movie. I think you're gonna like it." And I was like, "What?" I never seen a Korean-made movie before.
Yeah.
Until he showed me this one, and I was fucking hooked. I was like, "Holy shit!" Fast zombies come again, man. And those are the kind of zombies that freak me out, of the fast ones, because they're like maniacs.
Yeah.
They're fucking maniacs. There's no rhyme or reason. They're just out to kill.
And you know what's great about that movie is it's not even the zombie aspect of it. It's such a great emotional flick as well.
Yes.
Like you feel for these characters. Like you feel for I've never teared up in a fucking zombie movie. But we reviewed it.
Right.
Of course, we've reviewed this one last year, I think, and I actually teared up watching that flick. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like I've never teared up in a fucking horror movie. What the hell is going on? Like it's it's such a powerful movie. The sequel blows. The sequel's horrible, but the first one is great. They totally got it right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving on to my favorite zombie movie. Now I've had I watched them all as I was growing up. And there's great ones, but this one really got me because I really love the story, and I think they had the big money production to do it really awesome. World War Z, from Mari Foster back in 2013. I love the scene where the fucking zombies are so relentless; they're climbing over each other to get over the wall. Mm-hmm. That right there, just that's just brutal, and them trying to get to the helicopter to get the fuck out of that whole facility right there, and the zombies just overcoming the whole place and having to cut the soldier's arm to keep going because she just got bit by the zombie. And the fact that you don't really know exactly why some people are not getting fucked with until that very last, close to the end, where they realize it's the virus thing. And if you're sick, the zombies don't want to have nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You got
and I will I will say that while it is a great zombie movie, if you've read the book, and I hate being one of those assholes that's like, "Oh, the book was better," but it is so not the book, and the book was an absolute masterpiece. And for them to basically just not really do anything at all that was in the book, for them to call it World War Z, it's kind of like, not that it's a crime, but fuck, man, we could have gotten such a better movie if they would have gone the way that the book told the stories of what happened.
Okay.
But it is a great movie. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's a great zombie flick. It's just, I wish that if you've never read the book, Tony, pick it up, bro. It's such a good read, and you will not put it down.
Yes. Killer. Let's keep banging away. Number 5. Here's another oldie but goodie right here, man. But it's been done several times. The first time it came out was back in 1956, but the version I like is 1976's version, starring Donald Sutherland's Invasion of the fucking Body Snatchers.
Fucking Body Snatchers, bro.
That was a good one, man. Aliens and getting into people and not knowing who's real, and seeing them come out in that egg cocoon and stuff like that. Scary shit when I was a kid back in 76 watching that. Moving to number 4. I had to put it on the list, man. Tobe Hooper's back in 1974 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The realistic of it, the way it looks all B and the acting in it, Leatherface, the way they were able to get the house and everything so lit. it was just a full package.
Yeah.
So Hooper, masterpiece right there.
And you know what? I have a, you know, how I think it was Daniel, you had a heartfelt for one of the flicks. It was the first movie you watched with your girl. This is one of the first movies that my wife and I ever watched together. They were showing it at Alamo Draft House. Took her to go watch it. For my birthday that year, we stayed at the gas station in Bastrop.
Yeah.
She did not know that it didn't really happen. She didn't know that, you know, I never told her anything. I let her believe that it was a legit, like, this all happened here in Bastrop. You know, this is where it happened. Like, this is the gas station. It wasn't just a movie. This shit really happened. It was a movie based on everything that really happened. So she was absolutely terrified because they don't have bathrooms in the cabins. You have to walk across the way to go to the bathroom when you stay at the cabins there. So watching her like run and stuff and just be paranoid all night that Leatherface was going to get her. I didn't tell her till the next day that it was just a movie and it was based off of Ed Gein. None of these murders really happened. She was so pissed. It was great. But that's one of my like favorite memories because that's like when we first started dating that we went to go stay at the cabins there in Bastrop.
Dude, same, man. I remember like as a kid finding out that it wasn't real bummed me out, you know?
Yeah.
Like the whole time when I watched it, I was like, oh shit, you know, some shit went down here in Texas, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Hell yeah. I totally believable when I saw it. I was like, yes, of course it happened. Hell yeah.
Because I'm older than you guys, first time I saw Texas Chainsaw was at one of the Viking Twin Theaters when they still stood.
Oh, hell yes.
The movie that played before it was Deranged.
Deranged.
Which is
deranged
because it's based on Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
badass. What a combo.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they didn't even bill it as being on the bill. It was just Texas Chainsaw. And the line to get into the Viking back there, it was off Air Street.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It took us forever to get in.
Oh,
and the bad thing is we snuck 3 guys into the trunk, too, and it was in the middle of summer.
Oh, no.
Oh, the old drive-in days, man. Hell yeah.
I wish Corpus still had a drive-in. Like when I go see my mom in Odessa, they still have drive-in theaters up there. And it is such a great experience sitting up there and just turning your radio on and watching it on this big screen in your car. Like I really wish Corpus would bring it back. Yeah. And a lot of buddies of mine, you know, my 3 other buddies that are on the podcast with me, one of them lives in Pennsylvania, one's in New York, and one's in Jersey. They all have drive-in theaters. And I'm like, dude, badass. Texas sucks, bro. Like, we don't have shit down here, bro. Like, we don't have nothing.
We're missing out on that. That's for damn sure, because that's also such a great element about watching a movie. It's just like seeing on the big screen, or even seeing at the drive-in theater.
Yeah.
A scary movie at the drive-in, hell yeah. It just seems even a little scarier.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, dude. You know, speaking of a drive-in movie, an old movie that I'd never seen before since then, but I seen it with my aunt. It was a movie called Manitou. Have you ever heard of Manitou?
What's the name?
No one's ever heard of this one, but what's crazy about it, it's about it's like a Indian, it's about Indian magic, but a lady gives birth to an Indian out of her back, and it's a full-grown Indian, and it's wow. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, but I'll never forget it because I must have been, 5, 6, or 7, maybe 75, 76, 77, the drive-in days, and I saw that, and it's kind of scarred me ever since because that's fucking far out. A full-grown Indian, probably within about 24 hours, she went from pregnant to holding a full guy that ends up coming out of her fucking back.
Holy shit.
Brutal. Well, let me finish up with my top 3 right here. Thanks so much, guys, for giving me the last hour, almost hour and a half of your Saturday afternoon, and to everybody that's watching the show. Thanks for tuning in. We got so many people in the chat room, but I want to get through this list. I got 3 right here, and I'm going to hit you with the Chest Buster, Alien, with number 3. You know, that movie right there with the chest buster scene was the one that really had me like, oh god, it already had me going before, but that's where you saw the blood splatter everywhere as the alien comes bursting out of John Hurt's chest, and what I really liked about it too later on, being a metalhead, was all the artwork that I find out ended up coming from like H.R. Geiger for all these great ideas from the ship, the chest burster, the face hugger, all that cool stuff that went with this first movie. And even even the big bad fucking alien, he came out with that total design, and just fantastic stuff that I think it's just iconic as well. But to me personally, it was just a fantastic horror movie that I like. I love the mix of science fiction and horror.
Hell yeah, dude.
You know what?
Sigourney Weaver on there,
Yes, Sigourney Weaver. Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That's what really alien of the franchise too.
Yeah.
What really fucked me up about that movie, and I never paid attention, because we see the face huggers and shit. We've seen them. We know what they look like. I've never really paid attention to the detail of the face hugger until I saw this TikTok, and I'm like, wow, that just makes that movie even more fucked up. That the face hugger's legs are fingers.
Oh fuck!
It's got fingernails. It has fucking fingernails and shit, bro. Like it makes it so much more creepy knowing that it's got fingernails and they're just long, lanky fingers that come off of this body. It completely fucked me up.
Dude, I love the whole alien lore. Like, I mean, it's one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I really like Romulus, how they like explored that a little more. You do see more of the facehuggers. One of my favorite scenes in Romulus was the cocoon scene where you see the xenomorph kind of before it becomes a full-grown xenomorph, it's cocooned itself. I thought that was so cool. It was pretty, cool to see. And if you guys are fans, definitely check out the Marvel comic that's coming out this month. The Alien Romulus, it's going to be a bit of more of a backstory to what went down on that ship before they arrived.
Oh shit! Okay, good. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's been some sneak peeks at it on TikTok already, and it seems like it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah,
very cool. Okay, my number two, William Peter Blatty's 1971, The Exorcist, and for me, that one right there, at my age, seeing it as a young kid in the movie theaters. And it was my aunt that would take me, my dad or mom ain't going to take me. My parents were separated by the time I was 6. So my aunts would take me to go see these horror movies, and we all loved them. So I would always get to tag along and enjoy it. And the scene that really got me, besides, there's so many great scenes in there, was, we got Father Damien Carras coming in there, and it's the fuck me scene where she starts saying, fuck me, and just totally, with the cross, jabbing herself, and it just so fucking sick and disturbing, and it leaves a mark in my mind. And yeah, maybe I had a couple of nightmares about it here or there, but there's the next movie gave me more nightmares, but this one right here definitely disturbed what I could feel, because I believed in exorcist. I believed that the demonic possession and shit like that.
Hell yeah.
And I still do. And it wasn't because of this movie. I just have a strong faith in God, and I just feel like, the devil is alive and well now more than ever. And, sometimes he gets into those souls. And this movie was just kind of one of those examples where, like, holy shit, here you got little Reagan, the sweetest little girl you could ever fucking find. And she has just taken a total 360. And now it's the worst you could ever imagine. Every parent's nightmare. Parent's nightmare.
Dude, I love the theme as well. Iconic theme.
The music, yes.
Yeah, the music. The bells. And then I would say that the movie poster too is like one of the best movie posters of all time. Like staring at the window, the shadow, the light post. Yeah, it's awesome.
Great stuff.
Dude, I also love Exorcist 3.
Oh, 3 is dope, bro.
Underrated.
3 is dope, and I will say 3 is probably is my favorite one. I love part 3 so much.
Yeah. I like 3 too. I love that Brad Pitt's in it too. It's freaking cool.
And finishing off with my number 1, because it scared the shit out of me when I saw it in the movie theater. My dad terrorized me with fucking thoughts of this guy being for real and that he was actually out there. I'm talking about the Boogeyman, John Carpenter's Halloween with Michael Myers. This is the one that my wife was saying, this is kind of bubble gum. And I said, no, well, you know what? This is me. When I grew up watching fucking Halloween, and, my dad's saying, hey, after the movie, is that real? He goes, yeah, that's real. That's a true story. And just spooking me out through the night. I had to sleep with him that night because I couldn't I couldn't sleep by myself, and I had nightmares for probably about the next 30 some odd days. And you know, it was just the music, the kills. As far as a scene, it just, you know, I would probably say when Michael finally has Laurie Strode in sight, and then from that whole climax at the very end, how it just goes from then on, because Laurie's finally convinced that there's a fucking boogeyman, and you know the shit's up, and the music, dun, 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 the scene of Michael coming down the stairs, so fucking dominating, taking each step, dun, 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 kind of chasing her down. And I'm thinking to myself, how come he's had caught up to her already? She's trying to break out the garage, out of the kitchen, the double doors, breaking the glass and shit. How come he hasn't caught up to her yet? You know, because he just seems so fucking ruthless. And I love the franchise. I just finished watching, you know, I guess it was, I kind of lost track of the numbers, but I'm talking about the one where Laurie comes back and she's set up and she's got the house all set up. Which movie is that one, Dan?
Halloween 2018.
Okay, that one right there. I love the full
that's
circle.
The Mask from 2018.
Yeah, that's the Mask. There you go. Yeah. You got the daughter, the granddaughter, everybody's full circle, and even the daughter at the very end. We've been planning for this for the whole fucking life. Yeah.
This is the one from
I
Kills.
love Michael, and you know, even though he doesn't have the top kills, he's got the top kills in my heart, and I've you know that tops my list right there. That tops my list. So, real quick, there's so many great movies that we have. Yeah, there you go, Dan. I love it. And I know Dave, how many you had like 200 different masks, don't you, Dave?
Yeah, in my Lucha Libre collection.
Yes, man, I love it. And even original fucking Mil Mascara's mask, right?
Yeah, my wife found it, and it's actually match worn and signed inside.
Oh shit, nice. Hell yeah.
Legendary. I love it. And I know talking to Steve, he even told me, he goes, hey, I can bring the Maniac cop if you want the cop. He's got the Christmas Art the Clown as well. And I was like, nah, let's just go with the straight art. You guys have got some great costumes.
I also have every version of Jason Voorhees and custom versions that I've done myself with all under mask. And I cosplay as Corpus Christi Jason Voorhees as well. So yeah.
Fucking love it.
My daughter got me the main dude on the poster of the Italian movie Zombie.
Oh yeah.
You know, Dead or Among Us, we're gonna eat you.
Yeah.
She got me a real expensive latex rubber. I mean, this thing looks just like that dude.
Badass.
The only thing is, it's just uncomfortable to wear.
I bet.
Oh, dude, I know, right? That can go with the territory. Definitely. And that's why I was messaging you guys saying, make sure it's something you can breathe in, because I want us to wear it the whole show. Y'all killed it. Y'all killed it. Well, real quick, I did mention a little honorable mention. We're going to go around real quick in a speed round. Give me 2 movies, honorable mention, starting with you, Dave, that didn't make the list, but they're cool movies for Halloween or any time of the year if you love horror.
The Descent.
The Descent.
Oh, dude, that's a great movie. Yeah.
Good one. Hell yeah.
In fact, I'll go with a sequel too. I just got it in the mail. The Descent Part 2.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Hey, going down in those crevices like that, like underwater in space, they spooked the shit out of me. Excellent choices. Mike, Daniel, give me your 2.
Let's see. They Live, for sure, dude. I love that movie.
Hell yeah.
One of my favorite Carpenter movies. I just love the kind of like, putting on the glasses, taking them off, the fight scene between him and Keith David. Fantastic.
That's badass. Hell yeah.
And man, there's just so many. But let's see. Ginger Snaps, dude. I love that.
That's a good one.
Really good movie. Yeah, Ginger Snaps is a great little vampire kind of sort of like werewolf kind of style movie. Yeah, it's great. So many honorable mentions. Yeah, Jeepers Creepers is another one that we didn't talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. I also want to just give a quick shout out to House of the Devil. That's a really good movie too. It's sort of a bit of a slow burner, but I just kind of like the creepy style, sort of retro vibe, and about this cult. Really good movie too.
Very good. Thank you, Dan. All right, Steve, what do you got?
All right, so my first one is Dawn of the Dead remake. Great film. You know, it's got a great aspect to it. I love it. And then Feast.
Oh yeah.
Feast
Heard of that. Haven't seen it yet.
Feast breaks every single horror movie rule that, you know, from the get-go, man, you're not supposed to kill kids. Guess what? It's happening. You know,
Shit.
the hero,
That's right. You're not supposed to
you
kill
know,
kids.
I'm the guy who's going to save your ass. One of the iconic lines from that movie, you know, and it tells you, it's cool because whenever these characters pop up, it tells you what their role is in the movie and what their life expectancy is. So the hero pops up on screen. It says hero, life expectancy, pretty fucking good. They're like, who are you? He's like, I'm the guy that's going to save your ass. Immediately fucking dies. So that's in like the first like fucking 15 minutes of the movie. If you haven't watched it, give it a watch. It's a great movie. And part 2 and 3, they're so ridiculous, but they're fun watches.
All right, cool. All right, you got one more? I didn't know if 2 or 3 were.
I do have one more. I have one more. Wreck. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a Spanish film called Wreck.
I heard of that. A zombie?
Oh, Wreck.
Yes. We did get an American version called Quarantine, which is pretty much it's shot scene for scene, just like the Spanish film. But there's just something about it in Spanish that makes it more terrifying. And it's a great first person footage. You know, I don't want to say it's found footage because it's really not found footage, but it's kind of filmed in the same style as a found footage film, and it's great.
I dig
and
all 4 Wrecks.
Yeah. Well, I think they changed the format in 3. Wreck 3 was,
but I thought 3 was awesome, man.
Yeah, 3 was awesome. Yeah. I don't think I ever watched 4. I think 3 was kind of where I fell off of
4 just came out. Actually, it came out in 2018, and you can't hardly find it anywhere. In fact, it didn't actually come out on standard DVD. It came out on a standard DVD-R.
Oh, damn.
And I got a hold of one. So if you ever want to see it, give me a shout.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I'll add you on Facebook.
Killer. Now I'm going to throw in my 2, and we're going to call it a day. And the 2 that I wanted to give for honorable mention, I'm going to start off with Serpent in the Rainbow. Some fucking old school, some voodoo shit. I think we had Bill Pullman in that one as doing like maybe a private detective. But yeah, Serpent in the Rainbow, great one right there. And is that I'm drinking. Do you know who directed that movie?
That was oh my god, let me look it up real quick.
Seems like somebody I might have, like, maybe he's done some other movie. Was that Wes Craven by chance?
It was somebody well known. Yep, Wes Craven, directed by Wes Craven. Yeah,
I thought that one of his, maybe the first one he did, maybe, but it's that old. But great voodoo movie right there. Next one I want to mention.
Yeah, I have seen that, man. Yeah,
that one?
I had to look it up. I remember that. That's a good one, man.
It's like he's buried alive is one of the scenes that come to mind real quick. And
I like Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman.
What the fuck? He's in the casket and he's already getting buried. So good one right there. And the last one, The Believers with Martin Sheen. Fuck yeah, about black magic and a crazy movie right there. It also has Jimmy Smits, and it's all about black magic and a movie with Martin Sheen. Old school movie. I want to say maybe 87, 89. But another great honorable mention right there. But happy Halloween, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Dave Brinkman in the house. Daniel Benavides. Steve Vasquez in the house. It's been a fantastic fucking nice afternoon. Thanks for sharing all this fucking great movie history and great fucking finds and great movies that we can all look up. I don't know what more to say because I've been so excited. I love doing the research into the horror movie genre, getting ready for tonight's show, and just diving into the movies that I hadn't seen so much in a while, and seeing some new ones like VHS and The Witch. Just trying to keep up with some of the newer movies to see what else is going to make my list. So guys, have yourselves a fucking kick-ass Halloween. This is our favorite time of the year. And I know for you guys, it's always year-round as well. But we are in October. Let's make it a better Halloween than we can imagine because, we deserve it. And I think everybody deserves a good scare, right?
Make Halloween scary again. That's my slogan. Make Halloween scary again.
Let's make Halloween scary again.
Yep.
Gentlemen, any last words? Want to say bye?
Yeah, thanks for having me, man, and nice to meet you dudes, and enjoy the spooky season, man. Keep it freaky, and long live horror, man. Oh yeah.
Same here, man.
Yeah, man.
Great hanging with you guys. Let's do it again.
Hell yeah,
Let's
down.
try and do it
Yeah,
again.
dude.
I'll hook up with you guys, and we'll
We
see if
should
we
do
can
like
catch up
a-
again, because I
We
really
should
think
do
our
like a
guys are really
favorite kill.
fantastic minds.
That'd be cool.
Kick ass. Let's
Yeah.
meet up again next Halloween. I'll reach out for you guys. But
Okay.
until then, have a great fucking Halloween. And to everybody watching the show, thanks a lot for watching the Tony Gomez Show. Happy Halloween, and go out there and scare somebody. We'll see you next time. Later.